Australian brands face many challenges when trying to create a good customer experience, and in a post-COVID world, these challenges have only increased. Aarron Spinley, independent CX consultant, speaks with Digital Nation about how good experiences and good services are interconnected.
To have a healthy customer experience or customer service organisation, you have to have all the parts of the stack working. And so it's not that experiences aren't important, but services or service layer, so all those touch points you have just when you want to pay a bill, you want to check your balance, right? You want to make a payment, all of those things you don't really want to have a memory about. That's exactly what an experience is. Experience is part of your memory architecture. So you don't want to go, I had this amazing time paying company XYZ my bill, right? You just want to get in and out. And so a service characteristic is that it is frictionless, it's utterly forgettable, it's over and out and it's done. And that occupies, for most brands, 99% of the interactions that customers have with them. So if you want to get up and do things which are experiential, memory creation things for customers, you have to earn the right. Most companies haven't done that yet. Right, they talk about experience. It's like we get paid to say the word experience at the moment, right? Everyone talks about experience as if it's one thing. Actually, from an operating model perspective and customer service excellence perspective, they're two very different things. Now, you can escalate a service into an experience by either doing it really well or it's novel. So a good example is when Uber came along and you could just jump out of the car and you didn't have to hang around and pay and get wet while it was raining. That was amazing. We remembered that. Most people remember their first feelings, if not the very first time they used Uber. But then that normalized. And now you don't even think about it. So it went from an experience back to a service, right? The other way it works, of course, is if you really screw the service up. Because in order to have a memory, which is what an experience is predicated on having an emotion about it. You don't have a memory about anything you don't have a feeling about. That's the ingredients for a memory, right? So if I get to the payment process and the price changed, or the delivery costs were exorbitant, or my favorite color was no longer there, or whatever, I'm now frustrated, I'm annoyed, I'm all of those things. And I took something that should be a forgettable service into a memorable experience for all the wrong reasons, right? And brands confuse those all the time. And that's why we have really it's one of the reasons I should say, we have a really low quality of customer service. It's a global problem, but certainly pronounced here in Australia as well.
Spinley explains why Australia is currently an immature market in terms of CX.
We struggle to get beyond a focus on the short-term transaction. So if you talk to someone about what's your customer engagement look like, they'll talk to you about clicks and impressions. They'll talk about conversion rates. They'll look to, what's my open rates on email? These are very transactional marketing operations type activities that really don't have much to do with how much a brand is engaged with the customer, what the psychological state of motivation is on the part of the customer and the way that they engage with brands. It's all about an internal perspective on the world as opposed to an external perspective on the brand. And that is very, very pronounced in Australia. So we see very transactional, very short-term, very tech-based behaviour. So when you have the luxury of being a company trading somewhere like the US, where you have 340 million people, and you're a mass market brand, for example, or even just a brand in a particular category, you are dealing with large groups of addressable market. You're dealing with large groups of segments within that, and you're dealing with large geographical pockets of buyers. And so what that means is that you can experiment a lot more and a lot more safely. So it's not necessarily that our American cousins are smarter than us. It's that they have market conditions that enable them to experiment a lot earlier than we do. And so that's why we follow, because it's a little bit safer to follow than experiment in a 20 million person market.
That was Aarron Spinley, independent CX consultant. This video is a part of the Digital Nation Boardroom Impact series.